If you like to see how I'm going to completely transform these white Air Force Ones into these lovely, bright, beautiful, color block painted Air Force Ones, keep watching this video. Hey YouTube, so today in this video I'm going to be adding some paint to these Air Force One shoes. These are a size, they're actually a size 6.5. I just realized that now as I pulled them out the box. They're supposed to be a 5.5 youth for my daughter, but for whatever reason they are a 6.5. She tried them on and tomorrow is the first day of school. This is the only shoes that she has. Her toe is like right there, but I don't want her to have that, you know, that big wrinkle here, but we're gonna just go with it. We're gonna go with it. So I have this Angelus paint. You can actually get this paint from Angelus.com. I think it's about $5 per bottle. So the paint isn't like, it isn't really expensive, but it's not cheap either. Because the bottles are only these bottles are only 1 ounce bottles. So the colors that she chose from the paints that I have, I had like a kit of 12. She chose Tahitian pink. So it's a neon pink. She chose lilac, yellow, and turquoise. So I have some Angelus high gloss acrylic finisher, which is what I'm gonna put on the shoe once it's finished, just to lock everything in place. And so it has that nice shine. I purchased my brushes off Amazon. So these brushes I think were about between $5 and $7. I'll have a link where I got everything from. Now I remember paying about $8 just for this one bottle, because I was gonna do something with it and I got it off Amazon before I knew about getting, I think a whole set of these of 12 was like about $40 free shipping from their website, if I'm not mistaken. So they also have a degreaser that you can use, but I'm just gonna use some, I'm gonna use like some nail polish remover acetone. It's up to you. You can buy their degreaser, or you can use like some $2 or $3 acetone. It's up to you. It's blue, so hopefully it doesn't. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off by removing the shoestrings from both shoes. And these shoes were $95. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some acetone and wipe the shoe off very, very good wherever I'm going to be adding paint. Now you want to use some type of acetone or nail polish remover or deglazer to remove the factory finish. And now I am going to just pour the paint colors that I'll be using into this little paint tray, and I'm going to get started right now. And I'm just starting like on the edge of the check of the Nike on the shoe, of the Nike logo. And what I'm trying to do is like make sure that I completely feel it, but also get over to those edges. Now, the most important thing about this, you guys, is you have to use very, very thin brush strokes. Now, what I've learned since using this neon, really, really bright pink, it's kind of more so on the thin side as opposed to the other colors. Those, especially when you see the turquoise and the purple, they were a little bit more thicker. So after watching a few more videos after I did these, next time I'll take a light pink color that's a little darker or thicker. Then I will go over it with this Tahitian pink, so it can have more of a base, because this color kind of gave me a run for my money. But as you can see, it's so bright, it's so pretty, it's so girly. I just absolutely love this color. Now, when you get started, you're gonna feel like everything looks like a complete amateur, because I was thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? But as you keep going, the color, it builds up, it gets thicker, it looks better. So just really, really take your time. Now, these shoes took me hours and hours and hours to do. So for the sake of time, I already did about 5 coats on that Nike check. So I'm moving into the lavender in a different area of the shoe. And I really didn't know exactly where I wanted to put what color. I just knew what colors that she wanted to use and that she was okay with. So I just kind of freestyled it and just kind of did my own thing and just chose where I wanted the colors to go. Now, as you can see already, and I already had noticed that this lavender color is a lot more fuller and thicker than that pink Tahitian. And it's coming together really nicely. You know, you could just kind of just watch how I'm trying to make sure I'm smoothing it over very smoothly without having brush marks, but also trying to hit the right angles so that I don't go over. Now, I did not mask the shoes off. I know you're probably figuring or saying to yourself, why on earth didn't she mask the shoes off? Why didn't she mask the sole off? I hate masking. I'm not the best at it with doing straight lines and things like that, to the point where I rather just kind of take my chances using my hand being very straight with it. I feel like I have a pretty straight hand for the most part, but I also had a little bit of acetone on the side. As you can see with the brush, I'm taking a very small brush. Instantly when I get something on the shoe, you want to take it off right away with a little bit of acetone, nail polish remover, or they also have other products you can buy from Angelus as well to help you with that. So you kind of want to do as many coats as needed for the colors. I didn't need to do as many coats for the lavender as I did for that Tahitian pink. So you'll just see me just kind of try to get in those lines as neatly as I can. And you want to have multiple size brushes. Multiple size brushes are going to be your number one friend. You'll have to have plenty of them for this project. So the brushes I bought, I'll have a link available for Amazon, but it gives you a nice variety. These brushes were about $5 or $7. Angelus also has brushes you can use. I have not used their brushes yet. I imagine that they would cost a lot more than $7, which is fine, because when you're doing this, you want to have the best tools you need to get the project done well. You don't want to spend almost $100 on a shoe and it looks like you did it yourself. You kind of want it to look like you purchased it, you know? Even if it is your first time, you just want to do the best you can, but also not be so hard on yourself. Now, the shoes are on your feet, you know? So if there's a little bit of discrepancies, unless someone is like on the ground, up close, looking at your shoes, it's not going to be as noticeable. Or if a professional who does this, who's been doing this for 5+ years, sees your shoes, they may notice a few discrepancies. After I was finished, I noticed a few things that I could have done better on. But I think when you see how these turned out, I think I did pretty good for this to be my first time customizing an Air Force One shoe. I'm really proud of the way these came out. But I will tell you, I feel like it took me about a good 5-6 hours. So as you get better with something, that time kind of cuts down. So I'm working with the yellow. This yellow was very pretty. I don't think it was a neon yellow. It just had really good coverage and it was just a really pretty color. So I'm going to use this color along the area of where the laces go. And I think I'm going to use some of that yellow also in the back of the shoe as well. Okay, so now I am going to start adding on this very pretty turquoise color. And this turquoise is really, really nice. I like it. I thought it would be a little bit lighter in color. It looks more like a teal. Yeah, it looks more like a teal to me, but it's turquoise. It's very pretty. And it had really nice thick coverage. So it's very pretty, and because it's nice and thick and full, I did not have to use as many coats of this as I did for the pink color as well. I think for this color I used the least amount of coats than all the other colors actually. And the great thing about the Air Force One shoe, you can see each part is like kind of sectioned off by the stitching, which makes it so much easier to be able to kind of stay in your lines because it's already kind of like cut out for you. So I thought that this was a great shoe, but I really do like how you can just transform a shoe with the paint. It's really exciting. I ordered my daughter, these are for my 9-year-old daughter. I ordered my 3-year-old daughter a pair of Air Force Ones too. And I'll let her pick the colors that she wants, and I'm looking forward to doing her shoes as well. So I'm just taking this purple, trying to smooth it on and really take my time. Because you have to remember, you may see a little brush marks, but once it starts to dry, you got to let it dry in between putting the coats on, because then that will probably cause some brush marks as well. So you just have to really be patient with yourself when it comes to this. So right here, I had accidentally took my brush and bumped purple or something on here and tried to hair up and wipe it off. And as you can see, it made it back white. But it was okay because I had to go over that green area again. So when you make mistakes, don't take it too seriously because you can always fix it. As long as you have some acetone, extra clean brushes, just everything you need. Now back to this pink. I told you I had to do a lot more coats with this pink because it's more transparent and it's like really neon. Speaking of, you guys, I bought a new set of Angelus paint and it's all neon colors. I'm really excited to use those. This pink kind of had me a little discouraged because I still see where it's like not just exactly smooth. Like you can kind of still see white behind it. But like I said, I'm going to put a pale pink behind it next time and then do it. I was kind of tempted to put some pink glitter on top of it to try to hide my mistakes. I'm glad I didn't, but it worked out. But look here, you can see how it's just a very, very thin color. So, you know how you working on something and you just know next time what you do differently. So that confirmed it when I saw a video and I was like, oh wow, I could have just put any old little pink up under here. A nice thicker pink, not probably anyone, like a nice light colored darker pink, and then just covered it and it would have been just fine. But because I didn't know, I did probably 7 coats. Okay, now we're going to dye the shoestrings. I'm going to use this product called GAC 900, and that product with the Tahitian pink, because I want the shoestrings to be pink. That product together is supposed to dye the shoestrings and thin out the paint some. I've saw it done in a bag before like this, a Ziploc bag, but I've also saw it done where they put it in a bowl, mix up equal parts, and just kind of smush the shoestrings in there. So there's multiple ways you could do it, because you're probably wondering like, what is she doing? But I've watched a lot of videos. This is what they did. But I'm going to let you know now, I ended up not using these shoestrings, and I'll end up showing you why. It got a little messy, so be careful. And plus, I was in a hurry. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, more like probably 3:30 in the morning, and I was trying to get this finished. Okay, so back to the shoe, because I'm letting the shoestring just sit in that bag for now. I wasn't going to paint this tongue area tag, this tongue tag, that's what it's called. But I had got a little bit of pink paint on it, and I could not figure out how to get it off. The acetone wasn't really working because it kind of sat for a minute before I realized it was on there. So I'm like, let me just paint it. So I just painted it, but they have products. I guess you could use something called Too Soft, or you could use a little GAC 900 on it. I think I did. In my little tray there, I put a little bit of the GAC 900. What that does is thin it out, because this is not leather. This part is like canvas material. The GAC 900 is when you're going to add it to canvas material and you want to use to paint it. Kind of softens it and thins it. I'm so glad I painted that tongue area. Okay, look, you guys, look how pretty and bright the shoestrings came out, right? I still ended up not using it because it just still wasn't right. Okay, now I'm going to add the acrylic finisher because I'm finished adding the paint to the shoe. You want to go with some nice thin layers. And I was nervous too about this. I let them dry in front of an air blower, but I didn't know if I was supposed to be able to just slide this across the whole shoe. I didn't know if the product was going to be so strong it was going to like blur together the colors, but it didn't. As long as the shoe is completely dry, which I could have let it dry longer probably, but I had it drying in front of a full powered blower, which is excellent, comes in handy. Look how glossy and pretty that is. Do you need to have this gloss? No, because you might like that matte look. I think this product was probably about $10. May have been $13. I don't know. I'll make sure I have everything linked. But it just had such a beautiful gloss to it. You allow that to dry. I let that dry in front of a blower the rest of the night, which was only about 3 hours. And it was so crazy. I was up all night long doing these shoes just for that. It was a Friday, it was the first day of school, because these are for my daughter's first day of school. I don't even know if I said that. She wanted these for school to have custom Air Force Ones. All for it to be a weather advisory and power to be out at the school. And they closed the schools an hour before they were supposed to be there. So I was like, oh my goodness, I could have just waited till the weekend. But I'm glad I got them done. I'm glad they were finished. She still woke up wondering, was her shoes finished? They were. But it was a good thing because the shoes had even more time to cure before she got in them. And hopefully, you know, didn't get rough. Because sometimes kids tend to be a little rough on their shoes. But yes, this gloss is awesome. I really like it. But you don't have to have it if you don't want that gloss look. I think they also have a finisher that's matte as well, just to kind of lock everything in. But these came together a lot better than what I expected. As you can see how better it looks once the paint dries. When that paint is still wet, the shoe just looks like a kindergarten project sometimes. And I was just getting kind of like worried, like, wait a minute here. But it came together really nice. Now, when you turn it to the side, you can see there's some areas that look white along the back strip of that green area where I'm painting a little bit. There's extra small brushes that you'll just need to get those side areas. But I know now. But it came together and I like it. Okay, so here are the Air Force One little metal face plates, I guess you would call them. And I'm going to add some rhinestones to them. I use some Maxi Cure glue because it's a very fast curing glue. And you want to be careful because it'll stick your fingers together before you know it. I used 8, I want to say SS12 rhinestones, which are equivalent to like a 3mm. Super cute. You don't have to do anything to those if you don't want to. Now let me show you why these laces aren't going to work. During the drying process, I put them in the dryer and they got a little tattered. I did have a rug in there with it, so I don't know if that's what made those look a little tattered, but I just wasn't feeling them. These are my other options, and you'll see which one I decided to go with, you guys. Here is the final finished result of these shoes. These are definitely one of my top 5 DIYs. I'm just so proud of these. They look fabulous. And when my daughter woke up and saw them, she was just blown away. She was absolutely blown away. It made me feel so good. She loved them. Love them. She wants to wear them every day. I have to get her a backup shoe. Now you can see I did do the back of that tongue tag. I just came up to the top where you would only be able to see it. But if you want to, if that bothers you, you could just do the whole tongue tag. Other than that, everything looks really good, really smooth. The only color that gave me an issue, like I said before, was that Tahitian pink. It looks good, but I can still see where it's like thin. But I'm just really proud. Super proud of these shoes. I'm so excited for my daughter The first day, you know, is a big deal. You're really nervous, excited to see your friends. They have their cute little outfits on and stuff. So the first day of school has come and gone. They've completed 1 week of school since the summertime going back. And she got so many compliments. Everyone wanted to know where she got her shoes from and how did she get them the way they are, because they've never seen them before. Which is why it's so awesome to customize shoes, because you don't have to worry about someone having shoes that look like yours. And she was just like, my mom did them for me. It makes me feel so good that I could be a part of her excitement. But yeah, and also, what do you guys think about the laces? You know, I showed you my options that I had, but once I saw that I had the lavender glitter laces, it was like a no-brainer, because like I told you, these shoes are like a little bit big, but you really can't tell for some reason. Maybe because they're still new and nice and snug. But I wanted her, the rhinestone shoelaces would have been cool, but they were a pale pink. But you know, with rhinestone laces, if you pull on them too hard, they'll snap. She needed a real lace, shoelace that could be actually tied. You know, when she's running around on the playground or whatever is going on, she needs to make sure her laces are tied so her shoes don't flop off. Now, when she walks, they don't flop. You can just tell they're a pinch too big, but she does not have that big wrinkle across the toe. And then what I'll probably end up doing is an update on these shoes, because I'm sure I'll probably have to do a little bit of touch-up work, you know, just to keep them looking good. But other than that, guys, I'm very, very satisfied with this leather paint. Maybe in the future, I'll try out some different paint. There are other paints out there that a lot of the pros use other than Angelus. I think Angelus is just the #1, but there are other ones. But you guys, I'm so happy with the outcome. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Share it with someone. Share it on Facebook if you can. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Life is a Whole Vibe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. And we do carry faux leather inspired designer fabric for your crafting needs, luxury inspired croc charms, as well as iron-on patches and much more. Enjoy the coupon code MyRoyalBeauty10 off. Check out our website, crtacticaldefense.com, where we do sell in-waistband gun holsters, belly band holsters, and many more. Please check out my discount code VIBES for a special discount for my subscribers. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, that would be absolutely wonderful. Just make sure that you do hit that notification bell so you will be updated every time I upload a new video. Thanks again for stopping by.